Live from your award-winning news team, the Miami Valley's most complete news, weather, and sports. 22 Alive News at 6.
The search for the suspects responsible for yesterday's brutal murder of a convenience store owner has come to an end.
Early this morning, police arrest their second suspect, charging both with this heinous crime. Good evening, everyone. I'm Marcella Palmer.
And I'm Ryan Andrews. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news tonight, 2 Franklin men are behind bars charged with the murder of 55-year-old Ellen New. Late last night, Miami Township and Franklin detectives arrested 36-year-old Genus McGuire Jr. Later, after receiving a tip, officials checked a residence in Middletown. That's where they arrested 42-year-old Willie Ledford Jr. early this morning. Both men are charged with kidnapping, murder, and tampering with evidence. The murder took place Friday. Officials say the 2 men allegedly abducted Ellen from this convenience store in Miami Township, then killed her. Police discovered New yesterday morning with several stab wounds. The 2 men in custody are scheduled to be arraigned on Tuesday in Franklin Municipal Court.
2 people are dead tonight after a man opens fire inside a Michigan Ford Motor Company plant. Michigan police say today's shooting might have been a result of a domestic dispute. They say the gunman shot and wounded his estranged wife, killed the man his wife had been dating, then turned the gun on himself. Witnesses say the gunman and his victims all worked at the plant. A spokesperson at the Plymouth Township factory says the plant has good security, but can't keep an eye on every single person all the time. This is the 3rd shooting at a Michigan auto factory since September.
The accused killer of 2 abortion clinic workers near Boston remains in jail awaiting more court action. He'll appear in court Monday facing murder charges, and prosecutors are also considering additional federal charges. Rick Davis reports.
Law officers were taking no chances, fearing the anger this community feels for John Salvi, but that anger was not on public display. Salvi pleaded not guilty to 2 federal charges of transportation of a firearm, the weapon thrown to the ground when Salvi was captured in Virginia. Investigators believe it was used to kill 2 women and wound 5 other clinic workers in Brookline, Massachusetts.
We have, following that arraignment, through the U.S. Marshal's Office, turned the custody of Mr. Salvi over to state authorities.
On Monday, John Salvi will be charged with murder and attempted murder in the state court. Maximum sentence, life in prison. Massachusetts has no death penalty.
I think Mr. Salvi is a vicious criminal, and I think he should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I hope that he will spend the rest of his life in prison.
Today, 1 clinic involved in the shooting will reopen, but the other, Planned Parenthood, will be closed. Staff will attend the funeral of murdered co-worker Shannon Lowney.
An early morning accident on I-75 sends 1 to the hospital, and the interstate is shut down for emergency crews. It happened around 9 this morning on I-75 near Moraine. Police say the driver of the car was traveling at a normal rate of speed, lost control, and spun the car going left of center. The truck driver trying to avoid the car then jackknifed. The roads may seem fine now, but this morning they were still slippery.
The roads may seem like they're okay to drive on. They may look wet, but they're still slick because it's cold out.
The woman driving the car was taken to Sycamore Hospital, where she was treated and released.
Last night's snow was a surprise to many people when they woke up this morning. The first thing many folks did was make a trip to the hardware store to buy shovels and other winter equipment. One Centerville store is completely out of a number of items.
A lot of calls. I got in about 9:30 this morning, and it was just ice, snow melt, ice melter, and sand. That was the biggest thing that we had going this morning.
And let's take this opportunity to remind you to stock the trunk of your car with emergency items. Flashlights, jumper cables, and blankets are a few things that might come in handy.
Heavy rains pounded Southern California overnight, causing more flooding and mudslides, forcing the evacuations of some 300 people from their homes. The storm has taken 4 lives and caused more than $20 million in damage. Emergency workers are putting in some overtime to keep up with the cleanup, removing mud, brush, and debris from storm drains. 3 days of constant rain has saturated soil. Some areas are reporting that floodwaters are cresting at 5 feet and above. The mudslide nightmare isn't over. There's a chance they'll get another inch or 2 of rain. California Governor Pete Wilson has declared a state of emergency in Orange and Los Angeles counties. Natural disaster of another kind hits the East Coast. Tornadoes ripped through central Florida today. More than 150 homes were damaged in Marion County near Ocala. One tornado made a path 5 miles long and a half-mile wide, destroying everything in its way. Police say hospital emergency rooms are jam-packed. They say a man tried to escape by driving away in his truck, but the tornado lifted a mobile home and dropped it on top of his vehicle. A state of emergency has been declared in Florida. And our Tracy Hale Brown is with us right now. Tracy, Florida, they're having some problems, but here it's a problem of a different kind, snow.
That's right. The snow's starting to taper off around the state. We even saw some sunshine this afternoon. Another cold one, though. Our afternoon high was just about 32 degrees, and our current temperature is also our low temperature, 24 degrees. A chilly night is in store. I'll give you the whole forecast coming up.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. And stay with us here on News 22. The picture looks positive for the national economy as more and more people continue getting jobs. The details coming up next. Ohio's jobless rate is at a 20-year low.
The state unemployment rate fell to 4.3%, its lowest in 2 decades. The rate in November was 4.7%, and just a year ago it was 6.3%. The same goes for the rest of the U.S. The unemployment rate dropped to 5.4%, the lowest since July of 1990, after 256,000 workers were added to the nation's non-farm payrolls.
And across the nation, more Americans are working and even more may have jobs by the end of this year. Economists say it's another sign that the country is out of its economic doldrums. Mike Jensen reports.
The unemployment rate of 5.4% was the lowest in more than 4 years. 256,000 new jobs in December in restaurants and factories and stores. For all of 1994, 3.5 million new jobs, the biggest increase in 6 years, in spite of layoffs by big companies. Economist Heather Dillenbeck.
What will the job market look like by the end of 1995?
At the end of 95, the unemployment rate will probably be about 5%. I think over the year, about 2.5 million new jobs will be created, and that most of them will be in manufacturing and business service related areas.
The only possible fly in the ointment is the Federal Reserve, which pushed interest rates up 6 times last year, making it more expensive for businesses and consumers to borrow. The Fed is expected to raise rates again within a few weeks to head off inflation.
Thanks to the help of a Dayton Mall store clerk, Miami Township Police have identified and apprehended a man they believe has been passing counterfeit $100 bills. The investigation into the counterfeit scam began on Thursday. Officials were able to obtain a description and composite sketch of the suspect. Yesterday, the suspect returned to Miami Township and tried to pass another counterfeit $100 bill at the Dayton Mall. A clerk recognized the man from the sketch and notified mall security and local police. Officials questioned the 36-year-old man and later searched his home, where they found 2 more counterfeit bills. The suspect is free tonight, and charges are pending until Miami Township detectives review the case with the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office.
State officials have agreed to return the driver's license of a Troy woman arrested for drunken driving. This news from the attorney of Kristen Sanders, who was stopped last March and charged with that offense. But a Miami County municipal judge declared the state's drunk driving penalties unconstitutional in a ruling connected with Sanders' case. In September, he said seizing cars before the hearing violates the due process provisions of the Constitution. Sanders has pled innocent but has not come to trial. Some fear her case could set a precedent allowing other drivers charged with the same offense to get their licenses back before a trial or hearing. But Sanders' attorney says seizing cars
they go into the overtime pool. They are allowed to have more overtime. They get better equipment and nicer cars themselves, and they fix up their own facilities. And so we just think it's just wrong.
Under Ohio drinking driving laws, police officers can suspend the driver's license of anyone charged with drunken driving, instantly seize the vehicle they're driving, and hold it until a hearing on the charge takes place.
For parents tonight, if your child turned up missing, would you have an up-to-date picture of your loved one to give to police? Some parents were getting that taken care of at TGI Fridays this afternoon. It's a free service called Child Print. Dozens of parents brought their kids to Fridays to have their pictures taken and get them fingerprinted. This will then be printed out on a special card and can give authorities the information they need to help track down your child.
Extremely important.
It's extremely important to have them fingerprinted and you know, their photo taken, because there's so many things, crazy things that go on out in the world, and you know, anything you can do to protect your child, do it.
This is what the finished product looks like. The front gives vital information about your child, and on the back, their fingerprints. TGI Fridays and a child protection agency sponsor today's event.
And stay with us here on News 22. Coming up, an enticing look at a snow village in Switzerland.
And around here, the snow is clearing up. Our Tracy Hale Brown's up next with weather. And our Tracy Hale Brown joins us now with weather. Tracy, roads were kind of slushy and icy today, but can we look forward to improving conditions?
That we can. Things are starting to dry out a little bit, and we had some warmer temperatures today, and gave some people a chance to get out and enjoy some of the snow around the area. Taking a look right now at our current conditions, our relative humidity is at 84%. The barometric pressure is at 30.0 inches. Winds are calm. We have cloudy skies, and since midnight we did pick up 7/10 of an inch of snow out at the Dayton International Airport. They started the day with 1 inch of snow on the ground. Around the state, there is still some snow activity showing up in Akron and Youngstown, the Canton area, as well as Cincinnati and Columbus. Some light snow showers are continuing to fall in those areas. We're not looking for any more snow in the Dayton area until tomorrow and again on Monday. Now, as far as temperatures go around the state, it is starting to cool down a little bit. Temperatures are falling back down into the 20s. It's 24 in Toledo and here in Dayton. That is our low for the day. 28 in Cincinnati and 27 in Cleveland. Around the Miami Valley, everyone is also reporting in with temperatures in the mid-20s. It's a little cooler up in Troy. They're at 24. In Springfield, it's 26. It's 26 in Middletown and Richmond as well. And in Xenia, it is 25 degrees. If you're headed out tonight, you are definitely going to want to bundle up. It is going to be very chilly. We'll be under partly cloudy skies tonight, and our overnight lows are going to drop down into the mid-teens. Tomorrow, we will be looking for a little warmer temperatures. We'll be up to about 33 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, and we do have a chance of snow flurries in the forecast for tomorrow as well as for Monday. Taking a look around the country at the overnight lows, out in the northern and central plains, very cold temperatures right around 0 and some negative numbers. The 20s dipping down all the way into the south, and tomorrow afternoon it will be the south that's the warmest spot down in Texas and Florida. 60s and 70-degree reading. Here in Ohio, we will be in the 30s. On the national radar, we can see that light snow activity still moving off to the northeast. Out west, though, a lot of heavy rains are starting to move in to California and cause some problems there. In San Francisco, they've had a lot of rain starting to move in. That's causing some very high winds as well associated with this system. They've had winds clocked at 50 miles an hour and more. In some areas, they've seen as much as 6 inches of rain in just 24 hours, and they're looking for a very soggy week ahead. Now, the reason for all of that rain is a low pressure cell that's just now starting to move into California. That's going to intensify, and by tomorrow we can see a lot of rain all along the west coast. Also some snow showing up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, also the Rocky Mountains. We'll be watching a cold front approach our state. That's going to bring us some cloud cover and the chance of snow. That snow chance will be with us on Monday as well. As we take a look at our extended outlook, we are calling for mostly cloudy skies on Monday. On Tuesday, partly cloudy with an afternoon high of 29. On Wednesday, we'll be up above the freezing mark again, and that's where we should be tomorrow. We're calling for an afternoon high tomorrow of about 33 degrees. So most of the snow looks to be melting, and tomorrow, as it gets a little warmer, more of it is going to be going away.
That's good. That's good news for us. Thanks a lot, Tracy. And stick with us here on News 22. Guy Fogel's up next with sports. Highlights of the Browns and the Steelers. They met for the third time. Pittsburgh got the win. Cleveland got the Band-Aids. Guy Fogel joins us now with sports. I thought I saw you a couple minutes ago wiping tears from your eyes over there in the corner. Guy, your team lost.
It was a terrible loss. You know, I actually thought the Browns would win this game. In fact, I was thinking maybe by a field goal. Shows what I know about the world of sports. You know, earlier this week, folks, Cleveland running back Leroy Hoard said his Browns had something to prove. He said that Pittsburgh hasn't seen the real Browns yet. The first 2 losses were insignificant. This meeting would set the record straight. Yeah, well, third time was charm. In fact, the first 2 losses to the Steelers were close. This time around, Pittsburgh kicked Cleveland's collective butt. Let's go to Three Rivers, where if it was Valentine's Day, this would have been the massacre. It was like an ambush. The joint was sold out, and it was rocking. An omen, if you're on your way to the ball game, dog neutering. Rover, a little uncomfortable heading to the game. Steelers drew first blood. Neil O'Donnell to Eric Green, a fastball to the numbers. The Steelers led for good, 10 nut and honey. Uncle Bill on the sidelines, not feeling so well. Pittsburgh was just warming up. John L. Williams straight up through the heart of the Browns D. The Steelers running game, a huge, huge key in this football game. For Cleveland, here's the offense. Vinny was feeling heat all day. The Browns' offensive line was terrible. The Dog D was terrible. Pittsburgh with 133 yards rushing from Barry Foster. The Steelers' first playoff win at home since 1979. It was ugly. On the scoreboard, notice the little note there, Bengal fans. You're laughing, but by the way, your team finished 3-13. Post-game at 11 o'clock, including such bits of wisdom as Michael Dean Perry saying, they did what we expected. It's just that they did it so well. Yeah, we'll talk about it at 11. At the beginning of the season, Wright State head coach Ralph Underhill said he was closing his practices and minimizing distractions because this edition of the Raiders was young, needed some guidance and teaching. The team is learning quite well, thank you, improving game after game. After beating Detroit in the MCC debut 2 nights ago, Wright State stayed on the road, stopping off at Cleveland State, where the Raiders displayed some of that newfound knowledge. The Raiders led by 7.5, played smart, steady ball to finish it up. Delmy Harriman jumper, swish! Raiders up 13, early second half. Wright State played aggressive. Look at this. John Ramey with a hustle, tipping it out to Rob Welch, clear sailing all the way to the basket. Wright State was looking good. The big man, Vitaly Potapinko, out with foul trouble in the second half. Get a load of Jason Smith. Jason Smith hooking in the lane. This guy's coming along, but Delmy Harriman had one even better. Shot of the day. Are you kidding me? We put this one up in writing for you. Wright State 82, Cleveland State 74. Game of the day. How about try the Big Ten? East Lansing, Michigan State hosting Iowa. Iowa leads by 1. Spartans guard Eric Snow into the lane as time expires. Snow drills it, giving Michigan State the 1-point win. 69-68. Incredible. Let's go back to the scoreboard one more time. We've got college numbers to lay upon you and high school as well, if we can. Urbana over Wash, 80-78. Louisville defeated Notre Dame by 8. Other scores to pass along. St. Louis all over Alabama Birmingham, 81-56. Women's, Wittenberg, a win over Case Western, 64-56. Girls High School, Beaver Creek, had a ball with Wayne. They're undefeated now, 9-0 at the Creek. Tri-County North, 71-18 over Middletown Christian. Have mercy. Some other scores for you. Greenview over Madison Plains. Fort Laramie defeated Russia. Troy downed West Carrollton. Piqua had big fun with Northmont, 40-28. And Vandalia Butler over Greenville, 62-58. Oakwood by a half dozen over Milton Union. Alter defeated Miamisburg. And finally, Centerville over Fairborn, 39-36. Now, the Bombers are on the road this evening. But if you feel the urge to get out and about, head on down to the Dayton Convention Center. Why? The Dynamo will host Wichita. Game time's at 7:30. Now, the Dynamo also, they're at home tomorrow afternoon as well. Good seats remain for both of the games. The Dynamo are 10-9 and 3.5 games out of first in the American Division. And let me mention, this could be the final year you see them here in Dayton because the NPSL commissioner says they're going to be heading to Cincinnati maybe within a year. I know the Dynamo fans don't like to hear it, and I don't either particularly. But anyway, both games, good seats remain tonight, 7:30 tomorrow. I believe it's at 3 o'clock tomorrow, but I'll check on that and get back with you at 11 o'clock.
Okay, Guy, so you'll have that for us at 11.
We'll see you then.
Okay, thanks a lot, Guy. And don't go away. Up next, we'll take you to a place where a snowman is in search of a new wife. An amazing place in Switzerland. Stay with us.
The mascot for the Swiss National Tourist Office recently got himself a new home.
Last year, the Swiss ran a successful money-raising campaign for the tourist office. As part of the campaign, a snowman got to search for a new wife. In 1994, the Swiss snowman took a new bride and started his own family. A Swiss ice sculpting team built the home in 10 days in the resort town of Arosa. Over the next few weeks, ice sculptures of famous Swiss personalities will be added to the display.
Well, it's that time of year again, time to part with the family Christmas tree. And once again, the city of Dayton is lending a helping hand with a special Christmas tree pickup program. The city's Division of Waste Collection will be collecting the trees during the weeks of January 9th, 16th, and 23rd. Trees will be collected by the yard waste crew, not your regular waste collection crew. Officials say you should place your trees next to your regular container on your regular pickup day. If you would like more information, you can call the Division of Waste Collection at 443 4833. And don't go away.
We'll be back with the last word. If you're looking for some extra cash, we may have the solution for you, but you may have to stand in line, and with that, there's no guarantee.
It's the Super Lotto drawing, and the jackpot is worth $20 million. This could be one of the biggest lottos to hit Ohio. That is, if one lucky person can hit all the correct numbers. Be sure to get your ticket tonight before it's too late. We'll have the winning numbers for you tonight on Nightside. Good luck, everyone. And thanks for being here on 22 Alive News at 6. Be sure to join us back here at 11 o'clock for Nightside.
NBC Nightly News is up next. Enjoy and have a good night.
Good night.
This has been a presentation of 22 Alive News, the Miami Valley's award-winning news team.